I've got a really strange water leak issue down here in the basement that I've been working on since like last winter. It's really odd. But before I get into that, I have 4 other projects, real easy, quick ones that I want to share with you that I've done on the RV since the last time I did this kind of video. First up are these Maxxair FanMate covers. Now, I did these on our last RV also, and I don't think I even showed them. But when I did that the very first time, I ordered the wrong kind apparently. I got up on the roof and started reading the directions and had all these brackets and screws, and it wanted to be mounted to the roof and sealed. And when I was looking at the fan itself, I saw these, which looked to be like it could lead to some easier way to do this. So I went back and did some research, and it turns out, yeah, I bought the wrong kind. So I returned those Camco covers and bought the right kind for ours. And you're gonna see this is the easiest install ever. You sit right over. All you need are these. And that's it, it's installed. So you can see that that install honestly takes like 5 minutes. It takes longer to order it and get up on the roof than it does to actually install this thing. Now you're gonna see that I did run into an issue on one of our Maxxair fans because it was pretty close to our solar panels that were put on at the factory. And to get this one to work, I kind of had to ditch the little louver thing on the back, and I had to cut little notches into the sides of it to get it to fit over the solar panel. So it's not 100%, but it still does cover it. It provides the shade, it provides a little more rain protection, and I'm not too worried about that one particular fan. I also did alert Grand Design to this issue, and hopefully they're going to give a little more space there between the solar panels and the Maxxair fans where possible in the future. Another little side note about these Maxxair fans is if you don't want to get one of these covers and you're worried about leaving it open in the rain, most of them, at least ours, have a little water sensor in there, and if it detects any water on that sensor, if it's getting in underneath the little thing that pops up, it will shut off your fan and close automatically. So look for that. But if you want to put these on, they are pretty nice and allows you to keep those vents open in the rain pretty much any time. Next on the list of easy mods is the breakaway switch for the towing portion of the RV, which looks like this little box right here, and it comes stock with something like this, just kind of this long metal braided cable here. And I don't like this. I don't like all this extra slack hanging down in there. You know, there's a potential for it to get snagged or things like that. Not real likely, but I just like things neat and tidy where I can. So all I did was I bought this whole system here and replaced just this piece of it. Now, I bought the whole kit because I like to have an extra one of these as a spare, and I'll get to how to test these in just a minute. But you can see that the new coiled system, it's nice and red, it's easily visible, quick and easy to see if you've got it hooked up properly. Comes with kind of a carabiner on the end, and it's super easy. You don't have to go wrapping up cables when you want to stow it. You don't have to worry about it snagging on anything. I just really like that much better. It's much neater. So let's talk about testing this thing. I would say you'd probably want to do this at least once a quarter. It's a real easy test. And to test it, all you do is yank the pin out like so. It does take a little bit of a tug. It's designed to be, not super easy. You don't want it falling out. Now, when you do this, you want to be ready to test it right away. You don't want to just leave the pin out. On some braking systems, particularly electric brakes, it can cause problems and it can cause heat issues, melt wires. It's not meant to be left out for a long time. So be ready to test this when you do. And there are really 3 ways you can test this. Number 1, if you've got hydraulic over electric, like we do, it's usually pretty obvious as soon as you pull this, that hydraulic brake actuator goes wing and fires right up, and it's real easy, and then you can plug this back in. But before you plug it back in, get some contact cleaner up in there, because over time, just things wear down. Get some contact cleaner in there before you put this back in. Now, another way to test it is by sound. If you have electric brakes and you get somebody down there and listen by the drum brakes, as soon as you pull this out, you should hear a little noise down there when the magnet from the brake actuator down there gets charged, it'll clunk and kind of, you should hear it kind of make a little bit of noise and attach to the side of the metal drum brake. And then the third way, of course, is to spin test or wheel test. If you can get a wheel off the ground, you know, put it up on a jack or whatever, and spin a wheel, pull this, and it should stop. If you don't have that ability, then on your next travel day, test it then kind of the same way. Hook up your trailer, have this connected, disconnect your 7-way pin because you don't want to cause any problems with your brake controller in your truck, getting that solid 12 volts or any issues there. I don't know that it would cause an issue, but I would disconnect the 7-way just to be safe. Again, pull this out, try to pull the RV. Again, do this all in a very short window. Try to pull the RV and the brakes should be locked and not allow you to pull the RV, at least not easily. However you test it, put your pin back in and you're good to go. And if you have a problem and it doesn't work, try that contact cleaner, see if that fixes it. Or if you bought the whole kit like we did, you've got a spare right here, but it may require more troubleshooting. You know, it could be this thing is bad. It could be you've got no voltage going to it from your 7-way. There could be a lot of reasons, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. Next up has to do with the Happijac system that's in the garage of most toy haulers. Now, when we got our 2018 Momentum back in 2017, our Happijac system had these little collarless safety pins in all 4 corners that were designed to go just beneath the benches after you put them up. You could pin them in, and then if something happened where maybe a little motor failed or the brakes on it failed or whatever, for any reason, the thing wants to slide down, it's not going to come down on whatever cargo you have back there, motorcycle, side-by-side, whatever. Now, in our old RV, even though it had the pins, I drilled our own holes. If you've ever seen our office desk mods and things like that and how we set up to travel, you might know that we don't put our Happijac bench arms. You know, we took our arms that had the benches on them, removed the benches and put desks down. And our desks do not go all the way up because we leave the monitors on those. Long story, not going to get into it. But the bottom line is I drilled my own holes down below where that point is that we lift them to. And I put these pins in and they would be there again for the same reason, just in case there's any slippage or whatever. We don't want our desks falling on our motorcycle. That'd be bad. In this new RV, it has a whole new Happijac system. It's very similar, but there are some new things that are really cool I really like about it. But it doesn't come with any kind of pins. And I still like the idea of having these pins, even if they've, you know, fixed whatever issue might have been causing things to fall. And again, I haven't seen these things fall a lot. I've maybe seen one instance online, but better safe than sorry. So I did the same thing. I just drilled some holes. Again, you want to get these that are long enough to fit through both sides, in one side and out the other on that guide or whatever it is there, so it can stop it from coming down. Now you want to drill a hole that's just a tiny bit bigger than this. It's got the little ball bearing on there that helps kind of lock it in the other side. So start with a small bit and go up. You also might need some kind of 90-degree adapter because it is kind of close to the wall, and particularly in the back of the RV, if you have 3-season doors or screens or something back there, it can be a little tight. But again, it's a real simple mod. It's drilling holes and sticking a pin in, but it could save your bacon or your motorcycle, or if your motorcycle's named Bacon. Next up is a quick fix to our under bed storage in our main bedroom. So today I am installing replacement gas struts, well, shocks. I'm not sure what these things are called. These little things that provide upward pressure to help assist in lifting the bed. Because we have our mattress from Mattress Insider that we've had since 2017. This mattress has been great, but it's heavier than a stock mattress and therefore too heavy for the stock struts to hold it up. I'll show you what I mean. Hopefully it's not too messy under here. Oh. So there it is, and it just falls. So what I need to do is replace those gas struts with some that are a little bit firmer or more pressure. The ones that I got are 120 pounds, and I did that based on some information I found on Facebook. Hopefully it's enough, and hopefully I can just swap these out in place without having to use these extra mounting pieces. So I'm looking at the directions here for this, and I find it kind of humorous. Check this out. First step, please take it easy. It's like opening a can in everyday life. And I also like this, warming attention. Not just regular attention, but warming attention. That's even more important. So anyway, I'm going to get these cut off of here. These are, I think, 20-inch, and I'm pretty sure I measured our stock ones before ordering this, so hopefully I got that right. Well, that wasn't too bad. I've got about a 3.5, 4 foot 2x4 here that I'm going to use to prop this up while I work. Looks like I got the right length. Awesome. Looks like pulling back on this opens the jaws up there, and it should slip off of the old ones. Installation is really super easy. They just pop right on, the little ball things. And the difficult part is getting the old ones off just a little bit. This would be easier if I didn't have this stupid, there we go. So you really got to get it under that corner and pop it up. Note to self, or to you, don't use a ratcheting screwdriver for this. They go on pretty easy and just pop right on. You see they even put a little bit of grease in there. Pop on the bottom and then loosen this just a little bit of a turn. That's it. Now let's see if it works. Oh, that's so much better. Yes. It's still, as it should, once it gets past a certain point, it falls. But lifting it is much easier. It's much lighter. And you can see, it stays up even partially. No problem. So, 120-pound struts were exactly right. So let's get to the main attraction, which is this mystery leak down here. And I'm going to get into why it's a mystery, and it's a long, ongoing thing. But first, you might want to know, how do we know when there's a leak in the basement? Well, of course, you can wait until you see water dripping out of the bottom of your RV. Been there, done that. It's not fun, because at that point, the entire underbelly is soaked, and you've got to drop the underbelly, drop the coroplast, get up in there. You got to rip all the insulation out, put new insulation in. And this is all in addition to fixing whatever caused the leak. So you kind of want to detect this before you get to that point if you can. You know, it can also cause wood and water damage down there. So detecting it early is key. And if you've watched us for a while, you know that we use these ring freeze and flood sensors. So it's an added benefit too. We can tell if it's getting to a freezing point in our basement. But you can see it's a real simple device. Has little metal contacts on the bottom. If the contacts are connected via water, it detects water. Very simple. But whether you have a ring alarm system and want to get these and add to it, or we'll have some links down below to other devices like this that are just audible. Some of them connect to other devices, but have some sort of leak detection down in your basement underneath where all that plumbing is from whatever kind of wet bay you have, because that's the first place most of your leaks are going to happen up there. And if you want to detect it quick before it starts to fill your underbelly and cause a huge mess. We also have these things anywhere there's plumbing. We have them under every sink, behind every toilet. Just, we don't want to have water damage in our RV. So this leak is really a strange one, and I'm considering it one leak because it's all in one place, but really it's going to be a combination of multiple leaks all leading to the same place. And I mentioned this started last winter. It's funny enough, Phil and Stacy were here visiting us at the cabin. So you're going to see their RV in there, and if you're wondering what's that Class A doing there, that's just our friends visiting. So this alert from our ring system, of course, happened in the middle of the night, because when else is it going to happen? That's when smoke detectors, batteries get low, is in the middle of the night, and that's also when leaks happen, for us at least, is the middle of the night, so it wakes you up and scares the crap out of you. Of course, this happened while we were here at the cabin, and it was a super heavy rain. I mean, it was torrential, and it was windy, and it was just blowing sideways rain most of the night, so I didn't get out here and check it until the next morning. Had some heavy rains last night, And a few hours ago, in the middle of the night when the storm was coming through, we got a water detected in the basement. So I'm out here trying to see what's what, see if there really is water. My guess is that maybe some water intrusion got in from the wind. I just need to figure out where it's coming from so I can seal it. Hopefully it's not much water. Let's find out. Definitely have water down here. So I know where my low spot is now, right there. I just got to figure out where it came from. Get some towels and start cleaning my way back. Some water down here underneath the furnace. So my guess is it's blowing past the furnace somewhere. I need to check that seal. The leak was very minor. There's just a little puddle there, so I'm not super worried about it. I am gonna look though around the furnace here because I think that's where it came from. I don't see any water on top where the water heater is. So I don't see any water coming from here. Seems like it's coming from down here. And I've never had this cover off, but I think I'm gonna have to pull it off and just make sure we've got a good seal there. After some detective work, I determined that it was definitely the furnace. I pulled the cover off the furnace and I could immediately tell there was water in there, and I was trying to figure out where it was coming from, and I determined what it was is along the top edge of the furnace cover. You can kind of see that there's a crease running along that seal, and then that crease kind of fades where it's not really there, and then it creases back in. So that told me that it was not sealing up properly. And our particular installation, you know, again, every RV installation is different, but ours had a little bit of dip right there. So all I did was I put another screw in there, tightened it down so that way the middle of the cover is tightened down as well as the corners. So I dried everything off in there. Once I got that sealed back up, sprayed some water on it. We didn't have any leaks and I was golden. Also, while I was up there, you might notice in that footage that I've got the sensor right under the pump. I moved that over to where the water was settling because that was clearly my low point. Again, I thought I was golden now, didn't have any leaks. And then over the next few months of traveling, we started getting alerts. And every time I would pull that wall down again and get up in there, and there would be a little puddle there. And this would usually happen after a travel day, and I just could not figure it out. Then one time I got the alert and I got up in there really soon after it happened, and I noticed a little bit of a water trail going from that puddle to the basement wall, and then I tracked it up the basement wall, and what it was doing was it was running between the floor and the basement wall, running all along there all the way to the wet bay. Now, you know, when you're getting ready to travel and you're putting water in, you're doing things, you're dumping, the wet bay is designed to get wet. It's called a wet bay, and it's generally no problem. However, I think what was happening was I was getting that area wet in there, and I've also seen some water leak out of the plumbing sometimes when driving down a steep hill. It just kind of rolls forward, whatever. It was getting water in there, and then it was leaking out of that back corner, getting wicked along the wall, and then just kind of puddling down there. And I thought, oh good, I finally figured this out. So I caulked the bottom of that wet bay, sprayed water in there, looked for any kind of leakage, and it was good to go. So I thought that was great. I'm such a great detective. I finally figured it out. And it's been good for a long time until about 2 or 3 weeks ago when we had a very light rain, and right after it started the rain, the alert went off, which I thought was really strange. You know, why would just a little bit of a trickle of rain give me water in the basement? So I got back down into the basement again, and there is just a little puddle in the exact same spot. Now this time I have no water coming from the furnace, I have no water coming from the wet bay. Those two things were problems and were fixed, but I still have something going on down there. Now, when this happened, I went through everything. I mean, I physically touched every single water line in there. I used those blue shop towels that turn real dark if they touch water. I wiped it all through there. I checked underneath the pump. I checked the little sediment filter of the pump. I checked the lines going in and out of the water pump. I checked the lines going in and out of our triple filter system. I checked each filter. I have looked everywhere in there looking for a source for, again, just a tiny little puddle. I have no idea. I, of course, wiped it up. I put my sensor back and it hasn't gone off since, but I have no idea where this came from. I don't think that the rain was any issue because, again, it was just sprinkling. It had just started to rain, so there's really no chance of it getting in there. Plus, I would have to see it. It'd have to be leaking down, and there'd be some way for that water to get there. I don't know. I really am at a complete loss. So if you have any ideas, put those in the comments down below. Also, please click that like button and please subscribe if you haven't already. Those things really help us out. We would really, really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.